Hi everyone and welcome to this online class. It's an introduction to the Arabic alphabet. My name is John and it's been organized by the Dominican Institute for Oriental Studies in Cairo. So these lessons, I've prepared 12 lessons, are an introduction to the Arabic alphabet. I'm not teaching you Arabic, but just how to read Arabic without first understanding it. So in this lesson 1, it's a general introduction. So I will give you the general principles of the Arabic alphabet, and then we will see lesson after lesson the different letters. Here, just to begin with, I've put an abstract. This is the first surah in the Quran. So we can observe that it's written from the right to the left. This maybe you knew already. So here, the beginning of the text is here, and it reads like this: 3 lines, the first verse, number 1, the second verse, number 2, the third verse, number 3. Second observation, the letters are connected. So it's like when we write, usually when, in a cursive way, we would connect the letters, not like this. These letters, for example, are not connected, but in Arabic, we connect the letters. We could imagine to separate them, but then this would not be correct. So here, I'm connecting the letters. So these 2 observations to begin with, right to left text, and connected letters. So the alphabet is made up of 28 letters, which include 25 pure consonant. So you see here in red, you have the consonants, and in green I've put the long vowels. So the first line is the transliteration in Latin alphabet. The system used here is that it's a European system. It's the one we use at the Institute. As you can see, some letters are just the same as in English. So you have B, T, D, R, Z, S, etc. So the pronunciation, the corresponding Arabic, is pretty much the same as in English. Then you have letters with little stroke, a little circumflex, little dot. Those are called diacritics. So you have the G plus a diacritic. So those letters are usually letters that do not exist in English, and then you need some additional diacritic to distinguish the pronunciation. So this is what we have, 25 from here. So the Latin text begins here, and the corresponding Arabic begins here. This letter is that letter. So 25 pure consonants. Those letters are just used as consonants, easy. Then we have 1 pure long vowel. So that first letter here is a long E. It's pronounced A, and it has 2 shapes. The first shape that we see here, and the second shape, which is only final. So this shape is found in the middle or at the end of the word, and that one, which by the way is not in the alphabet, you have something similar but with 2 dots. So that shape is only final. So you have a long A, either middle or ending, and only ending. Then you have 2 more semi-consonants or long vowels. This one, which is either a W or a long U, and that one, which is either a Y or a long E. And you find them at the end here and at the end here of the alphabet. So we have 25 pure consonants, 3 long vowels. The first long vowel has 2 shapes, and the second and the third long vowel can be used as a consonant. Like if I say wa, wu, wi, that would be this letter used as a consonant. And if I say oo, then it's that same letter but used as a long vowel. Same here. This one would be ya, yu, yi, or when used as a consonant, and e when used as a vowel, depending on any sign that had been put on it to distinguish between the consonant and the vowel. Then we have 2 more letters that are not in the alphabet, this one and that one. So 28, 3 plus 25, 1, 2 shapes, plus 2. So this one is just a regular consonant, but for some historical reason people consider it to be just a diacritic, but actually it behaves just like any other consonant, and very often in modern texts it's not written. So you have to know it's there and to restitute it when you speak, when you pronounce, because it is there, it has to be there as a consonant, a regular consonant, but usually it's not, and sometimes it's not written. This second one is the only found at the end of the words. It's either pronounced as a T or as an H, depending on the grammar. We will see this, and it's pretty simple. I mean, it seems complicated, but it's not. So these are for the letters, those in the alphabet plus those added to the alphabet. And then we have a great number of diacritics. Great number of diacritics to note anything that is not those consonants or long vowels. So, for example, we have diacritics to note the short vowels, the absence of vowel, double consonant, absence of initial consonant, etc. Here, I've written the same text as above, so this is the first 3 verses of the Quran. In this here, it's with the diacritics. You can see all these little things added up and above and below. So these indicate the vowels, the absence of vowels, the absence of consonants, the absence of different vowels, and the doubling of the consonant. But very often you would find a text written without them. And to facilitate the reading, I can just add them. Okay, so here that would be adding or removing the diacritics. So these are in great number, and we will study them one after the other. Then some general observations. You've already noticed, and I've already said, that the text is written from the right to the left. So if I write, for example, this, as you see, the first letter, then the second, then the third, then the fourth, and then I can come back. Okay. Second observation is that, as I said first, they are connected. So here is not connected, but then I connect it. So I could, these are the 4 letters that make up my word, but I have to connect them when writing. The second observation is that there is no capitalization. This is important, and usually it creates lots of problems whenever we have proper names, for example, because there is no way to distinguish between this and that. So this is Muhammad, the name of the Prophet. The first letter is an M, and this is also an M, Muhammad, 2 M's. That first letter is not capitalized, so it's connected. Okay, you can see the M, Ha, M, D, Muhammad. The vowels are not written. And here, that first initial letter is not capitalized. And then the last remark, and we will focus our effort during the coming lessons, is that whenever you learn an Arabic letter, you have to expect 4 different shapes. So, for example, if I write that letter, this is the isolated shape. Okay, when it's alone, that's the shape that I gave above in the list of consonants. Here, you have the isolated shapes. Okay, so this is the one I just typed. Then you have the initial shape. So I'm connecting that letter to the left, and then it changes the shape. What changes is that this, which is called a tail, is removed, just the head is kept. So I keep the head and I remove the tail, and I get that result. Then I can have a middle shape. So when the letter is connected both on the right and on the left, what remains is just the head, and here the shape of the head is a bit different as when it was initial or isolated. Then comes the final shape. When that letter is at the end of the word, then it's connected to the right but not to the left. Okay, so these are the 4 shapes that typically an Arabic letter would take: isolated, initial, middle, ending. If I now take another example, for example, I can take that first letter here. So this is it, which is exactly the shape I get if I disconnect it, then I reconnect it. So then that shape here, the initial shape, which is that shape here, this is initial position. So just the same idea, the head remains, but the tail is removed. Then you have the middle shape, which is not so different. So it's connected on the right and on the left, and what is left is only the head. In this case, the head is the same. It looks exactly the same. Here, the head is a bit different in the middle. Here, it's pretty much the same. And then you have the final shape. So then in the final shape, the tail is restored, and it's connected on the right. It's also interesting to note that some letters do not connect on the left. So all the letters, except one, but this is another story, all the letters connect on the right side, but some do not connect on the left. Like this one, this is D, just like this letter here, like if I do this here, I disconnect the last letter of Muhammad. This is the isolated form, this is the final form. So here, that letter here, in initial position, is not connected. So if I write something after it, it does not connect. So this is the, for example, if I type another letter next to it, they don't connect, because that letter does not connect on the left. This letter connects on the right, I've seen it here, but it cannot connect because of that one, which does not connect on the left. Okay, it's a bit tricky, but you'll get accustomed to it. So this is the initial shape. The middle shape, it's connected on the right, but not on the left. Okay, so that would be middle. I'm adding this one just for you to see how it does not connect. So this is the, okay. And then you have the final shape, which is like this. So if I remove everything which is not the letter itself, what I have is in the end only 2 shapes. Isolated shape is like the beginning, initial shape. Then the middle shape is like the final shape. And all this because that letter, D, does not connect on the left. Just the last example for the sake of clarity. If I take that letter, which you know already, it's here, it's the M as in Muhammad, Muhammad. This is the isolated form. Then this, the initial, connected to the left. Then this, this is the middle form, and this is the final form. I do the same observation, the head and the tail. The head remains, the tail is cut. Here just the head remains, and the head, just like in this case, the head looks pretty much the same. And here the tail is restored, and the head is here. So it seems complicated to learn 4 different shapes, but in the end, it's not that difficult. You will see that there is similarities between the shapes once you see them together, and you will quickly learn that some letters do not connect on the left. So today we had general introduction to the alphabet. It's written from the right to the left. Letters are connected, words are connected. We have in the official alphabet 28 letters, including 25 pure consonants and 3 long vowels, 2 of which can be used as consonant, plus 2 letters which are not in the alphabet. a great number of diacritics that note everything which is not a long vowel or a consonant, everything else, absence of vowels, double consonant, etc. Plus then examples of right to left writing, no capitalization, this is important, and the 4 different shapes that each letter can have. Thank you, and so let's meet in lesson 2. In lesson 2 we will study the first 3 consonants here that have the same base but different diacritics. Thank you, and see you then.